In the next few minutes, you will be introduced to a revolutionary building product called SCIPS, Structural Concrete Insulating Panels. This project called for one of our several SCIP designs, which for larger projects can be manufactured entirely on site. SCIPS are a composite of rigid foam, steel, and concrete. But don't let the lightness of these panels fool you, as they are a wolf in sheep's clothing. In a normal 4x8 foot panel, there are 9 number 10 gauge steel W trusses, which are sandwiched and compressed lengthwise between 8 high-density foam inserts. Completing the matrix at every connection point of the W truss is a continuous weld 2x2 inch number 14 gauge face wire, making this virtually the strongest yet lightest disaster-resistant construction material made. Construction framing, or what is now called panel erection, begins at the corners, which are fully aligned, leveled, connected together, and braced with bracing rods. The panels are affixed together, truss to truss, using the patented C-clip pneumatic handgun. After the trusses and panels are clipped together, a final mesh of 2x2 face wire is affixed directly over the panel seams to prevent any possible cracks from occurring after the final plastering of the panels is completed. And to prevent any potential wind uplift prior to the concrete base coat, quick ties are used as an interim measure. Virtually any size panel can be easily worked with and secured, such as the smaller piece you see here, all the way up to a 28-foot rebar reinforced ridge beam, which you'll see in a moment. Headers, or what we call filler pieces for use in openings such as windows and doors, can be pre-cut or can be easily made and installed right on site. Another key aspect of this system is that the panels can also be modified right on site as well. Last-minute change orders, modifications to architectural plans, or even, "but now I want the window over here, dear," can be dealt with swiftly and easily without fear of going over schedule or budget. One of the beauties of this system is that it can be done extremely quickly with relatively unskilled labor. One trained supervisor to each 5 laborers is normally all that is required. The 1,250 square foot house you are now watching going up was fully erected within 5 days with a completely untrained crew prior to beginning the project. And all this during some of the least friendly weather conditions as well. And adding to the speed factor, you are eliminating unnecessary trades and their further expense by this process. For example, no insulation or drywall contractors will be needed on site. When the panels are fully erected, depending on local inspection requirements, at the most, you would only need your electrician and plumber for any finish work, as well as a concrete and plaster crew to provide your base and final color coats. Most construction requires a ridge beam to support the roof and structure. Conventional ridge beams are made out of laminated wood or steel, weigh a ton, and require a crane to put it in place. This adds, among other things, extra time and expense. As you can see, our panelized beam was put completely in place with only 4 men. And now we come to one of the best parts. Unlike virtually all other systems, our panels are not only used for the walls and floors, as in multiple story applications, but for our full roof requirements as well. No external roofing system or roof trusses are required. Therefore, when the roof panels are secured in place and the base coat of cement is fully applied to the entire building, and when it is cured, it ties the walls, floors, roof, and foundation completely together, making one continuous monolithic cementitious membrane that makes this system virtually impervious to most external acts of man or nature. And this includes the absolute best earthquake protection available at any cost. Additionally, these panels achieve some of the highest insulation values obtainable, making our structures not only safe but extremely comfortable, along with a major substantial savings in annual utility costs. And here are two other bonuses. The sound deadening quality of this structure is far superior to other construction. Even in small houses, the rooms are completely individualized, ensuring a much greater peace of mind for its occupants. And pests and vermin don't like our panels either, and leave you very much alone. Well, now that the house is fully erected, except for a couple more things, we're almost ready to plaster. For example, installing windows couldn't be easier or more cost-effective. They simply slide in and are tied together with simple plastic pull ties. So now let's go inside and take a look at how the finished electrical and plumbing trades are done. Although this form of construction will be new to some of your trades, it is an extremely simple system to understand and work with. As with the finished electrical, finished plumbing is handled the same way. Electrical and plumbing lines can also be spray paint color coded for ease of installation. And with this, let's go directly to the final concrete and plaster sequence. In this project, we chose to use a wet mix concrete pumped directly through a shotcrete machine, which blows the concrete on the panels with compressed air. Concrete can also be applied by hand and trowel and by other means as well. One of the first parts of the house to receive a concrete base coat is the ridge beam. This gives the house immediate internal strength when locked to the foundation with concrete. One of the great things about SCIPS is that they are very forgiving. Where some of the rough cuts on the panels left some daylight, as you can see, this is easily covered completely with the base coat alone. And this applies to virtually all other types of concrete applications, such as dry mix gunite, which is fully shown in the commercial video segment coming up next in this presentation. Another quality of SCIPS is that they can be completely waterproofed, and as they are one complete membrane, this makes for unparalleled strength and resistance to flooding as well as flood damage. The base scratch coat, which gets its name from being scratched on so that the following coats can adhere to it, provides the overall strength to the system, filling in and through the spacing between wire, rebar, and foam, thus making a completely interlocked and fully integrated unit of steel and concrete. Panelized structures have withstood major disasters worldwide, including gale-force winds from typhoons and hurricanes, as well as one of the largest earthquakes ever recorded, to name just a few. Here you can see where the base coat has been infilled around the burned away rebar and truss openings, thereby fully securing the panels to the foundation and ensuring their disaster-resistant strength. When entirely cemented and cured, these panels can stand up to 1800 degrees Fahrenheit for up to 2 hours and can also handle numerous penetrations from such things as flying debris from storms and even bullets as well. You've now seen the basic erection process as well as the major benefits of this system. From single-story spec houses to multiple-story apartment buildings to tilt-up and virtually any type of commercial building structure, these panels do it all. Even renovations and additions. Whatever your need is, we can achieve it with unparalleled strength, speed, and cost. And as for design, well, what would you like? Virtually any design can be architecturally achieved. The choice is yours. But along with your desired look and finish, you will now have the added bonus of a disaster-resistant structure which has virtually the highest earthquake, fire, water, penetration, sound, and insulation qualities available anywhere, and all this for normally less than conventional materials. From custom pillars and column supports, to small garden walls, to even 18 feet high, freestanding sound walls, as well as other walls shown further in this presentation. To complete floors, walls, and roofing systems, from the smallest of houses to apartments and much, much more. To custom homes, all the way to completely pushing the architectural limit of whatever you may wish to build, SCIPS and all that they provide may well be what you are looking for.